Hi, welcome to Jonathan's Art Journey. I'm Jonathan, and welcome back to another February time-lapse session. Hope you're all staying well and staying safe, and let's sit back and see what I'm up to this session. Some nice graphic shapes on the folds of the cloth there. Pretty clean lines and good gesture in general on that one, I'd say. So it's just keeping the lines clean and trying to get the right gesture down in one go. That's right, this model had a cloth. That adds a little bit of an extra shape, a little bit of a different kind of form as well. See. I liked that one because I left pretty much the whole right side blank. I didn't define a bunch of lines, and then I'm doing it again here with the arm. Just sort of left it up to the viewer's imagination, like I mentioned in the what I learned about in February video. That was a pretty good example of it. Another time where I try and shade with dark shadows and it doesn't turn out so well. Nice line on the foot there, that big S shape. Now those, you might be wondering what's going on, but those are actually her shoulder blades. Aha. This must have been the day where I watched the instructional video from Love Life Drawing about delineating the shadow shapes, because I tried just there. That was a little imaginative drawing. Although maybe I'm not particularly comfortable with it just yet because I didn't try on any of the other ones. Just some very, very subtle shadows here, more like yeah, so just one cast shadow from the leg and a little bit under the back, just to show, give it a little bit more form. Show a little bit of what's going on by putting in the very darkest values. There's an interesting pose here where there's sort of a line, a separation right down the middle of the rib cage that is quite interesting to capture. And here I'm having some issues with the face, which I'm not supposed to be doing. It's not part of the whole gesture, but yeah, it's pretty stiff. So I think I really like the leg. There's some really nice line weight on it there, but I think, yeah, I end up starting again. Because it was a really nice pose, and like I can do this better. I'm gonna try again, and I think I do end up with a better result. The leg's pretty short to start with here. I think I do lengthen it out a bit, but I really like how I've sort of left the arm undefined, but still captured enough of the shape, and the lines sort of get thinner and more vague and tapered off as it goes down. So it's like defined in the upper arm and then sort of gets more and more left out, I should say. And there's some, yeah, I like this one. There's some interesting, I've been trying to keep it all really clean, but in the hair there's a lot more of a dynamic line weight. A little bit of scribbling going on, but hey, that can add energy sometimes. There I go. trying to capture the gesture of the leg properly. It's a really nice minimalist face as well. Like, I know I'm not supposed to be doing the faces, but when you do get it right, it's a nice look. You're limited by or at least I felt limited by the brush with what you can do with it, but it sort of lends itself to a very simple graphic kind of face. Yeah, a nice final result there. Some more little warm-ups just to get the pen flowing, get some shapes. Aha, yes, this is, I think, the first male model, and it made me feel a little bit cubist. Maybe like the male forms are more hard and angular. Especially this model was very bony and very square. Yeah, this is definitely, after I'm getting more comfortable like putting in the shadow shapes. I only managed to do an arm in the time limit there. It was a very short one, and I was like, yeah, screw this. I'm gonna pause it and try and get a proper figure down. More sort of a cubist head shape. I don't know if it's if I'm using the right word for the style there. I believe it's cubist. But yeah, just sort of representing features with very sort of solid, blocked out shapes. Lots of hard lines and sharp angles and sort of severe brushwork to capture the sort of angularity of the model, I guess, is putting in the shadow shapes there. It really does sort of make it a bit more, like, gives it a bit more interest. I think I go a bit too hard on it in some drawings, but in this one it's good. Nice graphic shapes on the form to really sell it, really show what's going on in the middle there. Although, turns out I agree with what I just did, or what I just said, and was overdoing it a bit, so I went back and simplified it a bit more. Sorry if that was a bit fast to read, I didn't quite catch it either. Ah yes, very cubey. Look at that. Look at that shadow line right down the middle. Yeah, they had very harsh shadows in this section, so it was a good one to, I think that's maybe why I didn't do it much in the other one. It was very diffuse light, but here the shadows are really harsh, so it was very clear of where they went, so it was very clear how to draw them. Yeah, just leaving the entire side of the face there blank. It's like a lost edge, but it's just lost. It's no edge. When you're doing line, a lost edge is just an absence of line. Look at that guy's tiny legs. Didn't quite get the proportions right on this one, but the arms are pretty dynamic at least. And again, a nice fun shadow shape on the side of the torso there. Yep, I sure am. Oh boy. This is the long pose. Had quite a lot of trouble with this one, I think, because it was so long. I was having trouble fitting it in the frame. It's interesting when the model's vertical. It's not that difficult to sort of fit, like draw the head the right size so that you fit the rest of the body in. Like sometimes you don't quite get it right, but it's close enough. But horizontally, I don't know. I found it really difficult. I guess because we're not really used to seeing humans in that aspect ratio and day-to-day life. Yeah, it's very stiff. But hey, it's fine. Got a cheeky face on him. Ah, yeah. Hey, you know all those poses I just did? time to do them again. Round 2, baby. It's yeah, I guess I was getting a little wary of taking too long and noodling too much. So I'm like, okay, this time I'm gonna stick to the time limits properly. No matter the time limit. What am I saying here? I'm gonna stick to the time limit properly, no matter how bad it looks. And some of them actually look better. Like I like that. This version of that pose compared to the original, although it looks like I did end up pausing it a little bit just to sort of capture it properly. It was a lot more dynamic and it felt a lot softer. Look at this guy. Tiny little leg, his massive ear. It's a fun sort of Simpsons-esque face though. More harsh shadow shapes. Yep, the leaning over the table one again. Got the leg a bit better this time. Nice indication of the knee. Well, wouldn't call it nice, but it's there. Again, side of the face completely lost. I guess that was yeah, that little pose. I kind of like it. It actually, I think it turned out a lot better than this second go around at the last final pose. It definitely captured the gesture a lot better. It's a bit cheeky. Whereas this one, yeah. Let's see what I said. Didn't establish the torso dimensions right, and it was a challenging pose. Trouble with proportions, from not establishing landmarks, and trying to get something something. And that was the one I preferred. This, apparently in the comments and all that, this model caused quite a bit of, I believe it was this one, caused quite a bit of controversy because she kept moving around. I might be wrong, but if later on she's like washing herself, then it was definitely this one. Like they had a bath set up and she was just okay, yeah, there. Okay, it was this one. Yeah, she was moving around like constantly, and it was actually an interesting challenge because oftentimes in real life, if you're trying to draw something and you're just trying to capture it quickly, they are going to be moving around. Like, no, you can't just say freeze. Everyone plays, you know, and everyone stops like they're playing Flashlight. You've actually got to capture some sort of capture something from life. Even if you have to make up the moment and just capture the feeling of generally what was going on. So it was an interesting exercise in that regard, but it was also really annoying. Another sort of simplified face here. Quite like how this one turned out with the little water bottle and that. If you're wondering about the speed here, these are, let's see, they were originally 5 times speed, and now I've sped them up again, I think by 3 times, so I think that's 15 times speed. So you're seeing it 15 times faster than what I did it. That was nice. Yeah, this is the one where she's going to town in the bath. I'm just like, stay still. Trying to draw you, but you're moving around everywhere. You're moving your arms, you're moving your head position, you're moving your body, even twisting it around. Yeah. I think you just have to sort of pick a sort of general pose and just remember how it was. and just go from there. I suppose it helps pay more attention to the paper rather than the model and just transcribing, which is it's an important step for imaginative stuff. Ooh, that one's messy. The faces, if you can get like a simple indication of them down, does add quite a bit, I feel. Some nice captured gestures on the torso there. Don't know how accurate it is. I know this head is definitely not accurate, but yeah, again, just trying to capture a moment. I think I did okay. I don't think this pose ever actually occurred in the in the footage. Just adding some background stuff there for context. But yeah, just again, sort of capturing the feeling of it. And there we go. Yeah, whatever. Looks fine. Looks good. Darker hair, perfect. Thank you very much for following along with me, and I guess you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jonathan Caridia if you want. There'll be a link in the description. Be the rest of the final results of the figure drawing sessions, and I'll catch you in the next one.